I don't want to put all the blame on Kawhi Leonard because he's still a heck of a player. But I'm just saying for what he was brought there to do, for his skill set and also his leadership, we just didn't see that in this series against the Nuggets.
How much of it comes on Doc Rivers, though?
Oh, I mean, everyone's got to share some blame here. And go ahead.
Well, and I would say, the other part of this is you look at what he did with when he had Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, those guys, they never were able to get over the bump either. And now these guys, couldn't do it in the first year. This is his third time that he's blown a 3-1 lead in a playoff series.
And at the end of the day, right, like for a while, LeBron James couldn't do it himself, right? Like Giannis can't do it himself. And even to prove Brent's point, Kawhi didn't really do it himself last year in Toronto. Now, he got all the love, obviously, as he should. But he had other players like Siakam on that team as well. Half of this blame, at least, has to fall on Paul George. Now, I understand Paul George has been suffering maybe some mental stuff in that bubble. And he's probably not in the right frame of mind. And you know what? And I'm not going to roast him for that. Everyone kind of handles the situation differently of being in quarantine and things like that. But I'm just talking about from what I saw on the court, regardless of the mentality, Paul George didn't show up either.
Oh, my gosh. He was sitting side of the backboard. You could tell at the end of that game, things were getting tight for the Clippers.
Correct.
Because they looked
trying
like
to force it.
me trying to play for the Jacksonville Giants. By the way, the stream is back up and running. Thanks, Kuz, getting it going. I swear we took like an internet hit here because my computer went crazy, my phone went crazy, and then all of a sudden the stream was off. So we're back and running. You can check it out, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Appreciate your patience there. And if that happens, by the way, you don't get to look at lovely us visually, which might be a better thing. You can check it out on ESPN690.com, of course, in your car. Ask Alexa as well to play ESPN 690. TuneIn app. In fact, had somebody tell me yesterday they listened on the TuneIn app from Michigan.
Cool.
How about that? So,
do you know where in Michigan?
Hello, Justin. I don't know. I didn't ask. Oh, well, actually, I probably do because he bid on one of our silent auction items for the tournament.
Right on.
And I'll find out.
Cool.
So I don't know exactly where. I don't remember, but he gave me his address so I can ship it to him.
Cool.
What he won. So we appreciate him supporting our event as well. One last thing about the NBA. Then we're going to get back to football. But is it easy now for LeBron? Seriously. I know nothing's easy. I get all that stuff. But come on. Now the pressure shifts to LeBron and Anthony Davis, right? I mean, they got the Clippers out of the way.
Yeah.
They better win, right? I mean, they already had pressure to win. LeBron does every year. But now it's like they better win.
Yeah, I mean, they better listen, obviously right now the Nuggets are the underdog and the Lakers are the favorite. Just like last night, the Lakers were, so the Clippers were the favorite and the Nuggets were the underdog. But guess what, man? I'm telling you, Brent, and I said this yesterday, this isn't your traditional season of NBA basketball. This isn't your traditional playoff run of NBA basketball. This is different. And, you got to take everything that you realize about how a 7-game series works and just throw it out the door. Now, yes, on paper, are the Lakers a better team? For sure. And I could probably make an argument and say they probably have the two best players of the series. But I can also make an argument and say, you know what, man? Is anybody playing better right now than Jamal Murray? And I can also make an argument and say, I get it. That Houston series, no one could stop Anthony Davis. Jokic could maybe not stop Anthony Davis, but he can probably contain him. And he's a crafty veteran who can get his own points as well. So with that being said, I think that the Nuggets actually match up pretty well against the Lakers.
Who would you rather have, Luka or Joker?
Ooh, Luka or Joker? I'm taking Luka.
I guess it depends on the context of what you want them for, is the way I'll go, which is I know sitting on the fence in a way. But
what do you want, Brent? Do you want rebounds? Do you want swag?
No.
What
if you're saying
about?
building a team from start, I'm going Luka. But if you're saying making a playoff run right now, I'm going with the Joker because he's probably the best center in the league.
All right. Well, I try to win right now. So you're saying right now. So you think the Nuggets wouldn't be here if they had Luka?
Over Jamal?
No, over if
he's saying because you're saying he would take Jamal's spot, right, Kuz?
Well, that's what I'm asking. If it's Luka and Joker for sure, it's two
Jamal
different positions. It's hard.
I see what you're saying.
But you put him on shooting guard, it's fine.
Because I would say yes, but I think I don't want that to sound like I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it because they're two different. I understand, but you know what's interesting? From two different positions, they do a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
That's kind of what brought me to that.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody talks about their IQ, their vision, all that stuff.
Well, the offense runs through the Joker half the time.
So interesting. I mean,
Are you gonna say you're sorry to the Nuggets fans out there for kind of doubting them yesterday? Like you didn't give them a chance yesterday.
no, I didn't.
Yeah, you're pretty mean.
Like, if as in Nuggets fans, you mean like who?
Oh wow.
Hey, who's the Nuggets fan?
I mean,
listen.
Have you ever met a Denver Nuggets fan?
Brent,
have you ever met a Denver Nuggets fan?
Brent, oh man, now I'm setting up for this one. You be nice to those lovely people in Denver. They got a lot going on, obviously. There's a lot of CBD running through those veins.
They're a little calm right now.
There's a lot of THC. They haven't understood yet that they probably are going to the Western Conference Finals. When they come down off their high, they'll understand it tomorrow. But show them some respect, man, because they're basketball fans just like everybody else, just maybe a little higher.
Yeah, they had big temperature drop last week to 101 degrees to snow in the same day.
How crazy is that? But that happened. That's what happened to us when we went out there to see the concert.
That's right.
It was like 80, and we woke up the next morning. And there's 2 inches of snow on the ground. It was May.
Can I repeat the question though?
Yeah.
Have you ever met a Nuggets fan? A Denver Nuggets fan, not a Chicken McNugget fan. A Denver Nuggets fan.
Like in person? In person?
Yeah.
I've seen people wear the Allen Iverson Denver Nuggets jersey.
I saw a Carmelo Anthony jersey quick. Yeah, I don't think I have, man.
I don't think I've ever met one.
But to be fair, though, I mean, if we're on the topic, I think they have some of the best, like, what do they call them? This road? No, what is it? This swingman jerseys? Like the city jerseys or whatever? You know,
I know what you're talking about.
Those black with the rainbow, I might have to get one.
Pretty sharp.
I'm going to have to get one, man. Those are clean.
I was surprised when we went out there, and maybe it was the time of the year, but in terms of, like, billboards, it was all basketball. Like out in Denver.
Really?
Yeah.
They got a lot to do out there in Denver. I mean, sports-wise, too. I mean, they've had some success over the year. This Denver team, I went back and looked, seriously. Last year, they finished first, right? 3 years ago, they actually had a pretty decent record. And the previous 2 years of that, Malone, you could tell, was trying to rebuild it. And they did. I mean, they weren't atrocious, but they were on the other side of 500. And then they've slowly upticked to here. I mean, it's been a good build, but quietly. I mean,
it goes to the chemistry part, though. It goes back to the chemistry part. Is you just let these guys play together for so long, and then you get the right 2 pieces, and now it's clicking.
I know Denver Nuggets fans now are going to be like, well, yeah, have you ever met a Jags fan? But the answer to that is yes, you have. Yeah. That's my point. Like, you have seen Jags. You see Jags fans like at the draft.
We're very alert and not yawning the whole time. We're very alert and in your face.
Yes. So, like, I'm not trying. I'm just serious. Like, I've never met a Nuggets fan.
I want the Nuggets to win now because I want to see that victory parade. I want to see all hundreds of Nuggets fans.
There'll be clouds
stoned
everywhere.
Out of their mind at Taco Bell. Like, oh man, we're missing the parade. Hold on, let me get over there.
Yeah, I can't wait. Is that the wildfires leaking over to Denver or?
I do think it's going. By the way, the Lakers Nuggets game. I think it's going to be 6 or 7 games, and I think it's going to be a very close win for probably the Lakers. But I wouldn't be surprised if it bounced.
I'll give my prediction later on in the week here.
Okay. Yeah. By the way, Justin listened in from Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Nice, Kalamazoo.
So shout out to Justin. Thanks for listening to the show on TuneIn app. See, you can do it on all these different platforms.
Anybody listening from Denver anymore?
Not anymore.
Those days are gone. Those endorsements are gone. Yeah. Well, I can't do any endorsements from there anyways, so it's all good.
Hey, how about listen?
You know what I'm saying, Kuz? You got that, Kuz.
All right. How would you say? And I mean this with all due respect. I'm just being honest.
Brent's
I want
to
give him a shout out.
Here we go.
No, I'm not. How do you say XO? Was that Zoe? That's a name. First name.
Yeah, Zoe.
Or it could be just
hug and kiss.
Would it be a name or is it XO Morales? Like, as that's kind of like the Twitter handle. Do you think it's a name like Zoe or just a Twitter handle?
I'm sorry. Where are you seeing this at? You seeing it on Twitter?
Is it a guy or a girl?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm asking for real because he asked, "Is your stream off?" or she?
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, I think we took an internet hit." And then they responded back, said, "Thank you. I was freaking out. Big fan from San Diego." See, I want to give him a shout out, but I want to say the name right.
I mean, it could mean executive officer too. That's abbreviation for executive officer. Honestly.
Is it really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, XO Morales.
What? Yeah.
No, they commented their name, but that doesn't really help us.
It didn't help.
Oh, and when we just lost a fan.
No, that's good. I want to give a shout out. That's pretty good.
Like, Brent's saying how to say it.
Yeah.
The person commented their name.
Yeah.
But that doesn't help us because we don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to check it out. I'll check
Brent
out
can
the
pronounce
feed.
it. Brent can pronounce
I
anything.
can pronounce it. You're saying you can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
Well, but it's the same. It's the same person. I assume it's on YouTube. So it's just the name that you're saying you're trying to figure out how to.
I got you. But anyway, shout out to San Diego.
I like that, man.
Kalamazoo,
We're everywhere.
Michigan,
Yeah.
and hopefully nobody's listening in Denver.
Yeah. Brent, you got his pronunciation. After we come back from the break, you got to pronounce this guy's name correctly.
I will, hopefully. We appreciate him listening either way.
Yeah.
All over the country, all over the world.
Is that crazy to believe sometimes that people are listening to us in San Diego?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. But I know, like, there's Jags fans that have gone, like Justin, who's in Michigan, his family lives here, and so he lives in Michigan now. So I think there's a lot of Jags fans that jump in and want to stay connected to the team, especially. And, well, you can get us all over the globe.
We're everywhere.
We got our Australian friends.
We can't be
we had in
stopped.
Italy.
Yep.
We had, obviously, we have England.
We can't be stopped.
I mean, we have Camden County with Duval Doom.
Yep.
That's worth something, right?
Yeah.
All right, Johnny?
I've been watching the Padres game actually, and it looks beautiful in San Diego right now.
Oh, geez.
What are you watching
That's
the
never happened
Padres?
before.
Yeah, I
it's
know, right?
never
But
been
It's just-
beautiful
dude,
before in
it's
San
on
Diego.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, tell us more, Captain Obvious.
Hey, Jeff Goodman saying, breaking news, Division I Council leading to approve November 25th start date for college basketball. Meeting still ongoing, so it's not 100% done yet. College basketball going to start up November 25th, apparently. We'll see what happens with all the bubble talk. We know this, and I've been basically told this. There will not be another year without college basketball in terms of March Madness in the tournament. They
can't afford it. Oh, Jinx, you owe me a soda.
They
But yep.
cannot afford it. So that won't be the case. Big Ten comes back. Right move? Good move? What's your feeling when you see it?
I mean, my first thought is, oh, welcome back. Thanks for joining the party. You know, you guys should have never left in the first place. Good job. So, like, obviously, my mind goes to making fun of the Big Ten. But at the end of the day, and it's what I was so critical about in the first place, is I don't care about, you know, the money that they make or the presidents, and all I care about is a student athlete, right? And I care about the student athlete getting a fair shake, whether it's in the SEC, whether it's in the Big 12, or it's in the Big 10. I want every athlete to have every advantage as possible. So with that being said, the Big 10 athletes were at a humongous disadvantage not being able to play during the regular season of the fall. So when the news is announced now they're going to come back in October, I'm a fan. You know, like, I mean, yes, the Big Ten may have made a mistake, and I don't care about that right now. All I care about is that these athletes are going to have an opportunity to showcase their skills on film and obviously have an opportunity to play the game that they love and have a scholarship from that. And with that being said, I'm a fan.
Yeah, I'm not hating the Big Ten as much as everybody else is. I understand it's you put everybody on blast these days, all that stuff. I told you so.
Yeah.
I don't think we've told anybody anything yet. The SEC hasn't even played a game. We've played like 2 weeks of college football. I don't think anybody's been told anything yet. And while I think the ACC and SEC and Big 12 are on the right track, and I actually think the Big Ten coming back here and playing some football in some way, shape, or form is the right move, I don't know if we know what the right answer is. So, I mean, we're going to say it today, and we're not culpable or really responsible if we say on Twitter, Big Ten, you bunch of losers, you should have done this the whole time. I don't know. What they shouldn't have done is they shouldn't have canceled it when they canceled it. It didn't make sense. That was idiotic, quite frankly. Not that they did cancel it, but when they canceled it. Then they wouldn't have to sit here on September, 16th and bring it back. They could have waited until September 16th to cancel it. Mm-hmm. That was my whole rub with the Big Ten all along. It's like, what are you doing? Why right now? It just showed a colossal disconnect, I thought, from president to AD to football coach to everything else. I mean, you had more time. Wait for that time.
What is the Pac-12 going to do?
Well, and the Pac-12 is interesting here. This is why I think they're different. They're different on a couple of fronts. One, they have been, if I'm not mistaken, and quite frankly, I've lost a lot of track of the coronavirus scoreboard, okay? Mm-hmm. But they have been on the very, very conservative end of getting back to normalcy in California, right? Fair enough?
Correct.
So on top of that, they have a big problem on their hands right now in terms of a natural disaster with these wildfires. I mean, that's a serious thing going on. Like, I understand there's wildfires that go on all the time.
Yeah.
But if you read a little deeper into that, this is like historic proportions, and it's not slowing down. I mean,
they almost had to move the San Francisco game because the air quality was so bad.
And they just canceled the baseball game last night. This is a big issue. So I think they are dealing with a lot of things right now. What's interesting to me about the Pac-12 is they were so less vocal than the Big Ten. The Big Ten almost kind of was trying to tell you that, hey, we know the right way to handle this thing. The Pac-12 wasn't doing that. It felt like the Big Ten was kind of pounding its chest. We're going to tell you how it should be done in college football and college sports. Yeah. We're the leaders of this country when it comes to college athletics. That's what it felt like. I'm not saying they did.
That's what it felt like. That's what it was, Brent. The Big Ten was essentially like the kid that, like, you know, he's the troublemaker and he tags you along and you're just guilty by association.
Yeah.
The Pac-12.
And so much so that athletes and parents started knocking on their door, including right here in Jack, Shaun Wade, who plays for Ohio State, who now has opted out this week. And now you just heard the update. Is he going to play? Is he going to stay out? But I just didn't feel like we got as much of that from the Pac-12. I felt like it was very quiet. I kind of liked the way they handled their business. And I will say what I said about the Big Ten. If they want to reverse course and say, hey, we think it's cool to come back to, then do it. That's fine. Like, I'm not going to blast people for changing their mind. We blasted the Big Ten enough when they made the decision early, and I kind of feel like the Pac-12 was probably in that, that they shut things down so early. Why so early? I'll give you a little criticism for that. But if you want to now say, hey, more evidence is out, we're seeing other people do it, we can do the same thing the Big Ten's doing. But again, I think their situation's a little different because of the wildfires going on and because of just the way most of that area, California especially, and I know I just mentioned in California, and not everybody in the Pac-12 is in California, but it's a big part of their footprint. Mm-hmm. And so I think with all that going on, they might be a little bit more hesitant. We'll see where it plays out. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. To answer your question, what does happen? I don't know. I don't know what happens with the Pac-12 next. What's interesting is, like, if you're Shaun Wade. Shaun Wade's a top 15 pick. He's from Trinity Christian right here in Jacksonville. He's one of the best corners in the country. Plays at Ohio State. And his dad was vocal, I think went up to the Midwest and kind of knocked on the door of the Big Ten. One of the parents, right? And which they wanted explanations. They wanted communication. Sure. And now, like over the weekend, while the rumors of this vote was going on, that it was going to happen, Shaun opts out and says, I'm going to get ready for the draft as a top 15 pick. And many athletes have done that. Well, now what? Do you opt back in now that you know your season's going to conclude in December? Should he? Should he stay out? Would you play? Justin Fields is excited. He was on Twitter and said, let's go, baby.
Yeah.
He's still doing it. If you're Shaun Wade and you're going to be a top 15 pick and you've already said, you know what, I'm opting out, do you get back in?
So this is a situation here with Shaun Wade where if you were going to be a guaranteed top 15 pick, then I'm not going to fault you for opting out, because keep in mind, regardless right now if the Big Ten's coming back or not, which they are now, but we'll see. I mean, once again, we don't know how this whole season's going to shake out still. But, like, I don't think teams are going to knock Shaun Wade. It was like, you know what? I made my decision already. I'm getting ready for the draft, so I'm going to sit this out. Like, I can't see teams at the combine going, well, why don't you go back to your team? You know, like, I just can't see that scenario playing out. So with that being said, I mean, if it was me, I would go back for sure. But I can see the fact that if he's already made his decision, and I'm sure that was a hard one, he's not going to go back on it now. But it's like I said. I mean, if it was me, I'd definitely go back and play college football.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
I'm just trying to think what he'll do. What I didn't understand, I said this to the guys down in the sports office. I was like, why did he decide right now? Like, you knew a vote was on the horizon. Was it kind of like, hey, if you don't vote, I'm opting out? Was it? It seemed to be trending toward the Big Ten coming back. So I think it's not like he opted out 3 weeks ago and said, okay, if we're not going to play, I'm not going. He actually opted out during a time when it looked like there was momentum for the Big Ten to say, hey, we're going to play.
Yeah.
So that's what's curious on my end when it comes to Shaun Wade. Maybe he just said, you know what? I'm not risking this stuff. I'm going to do what the other guys did, the Virginia Tech guy and some others, and said, it's not worth it either way. I'm going to opt out. My draft stock's pretty high, and I'm not going to lose my draft stock going to play an 8-game season that's quirky.
Exactly. Yeah, it's quirky, and who's to say, like, listen, I mean, we've talked about it before on this show. It takes a while to get back in game shape. Who's to say he doesn't go out there week one and all of a sudden he has an unfortunate injury? Like, those things can happen. So I think, you know, playing it safe if he wants to, I'm not going to fault that from him. Obviously, it's a business decision, and it's a business of millions and millions of dollars. So do what you got to do. Take care of yourself if you want to. We'll see you in the NFL.
Yeah, welcome back, Big Ten, to college football. It will take place third week of October 23rd, 24th. 8-game season, no buys, and they'll finish up up December 19th and now be involved. I tell you, once again, I said this earlier in the show, I wondered when the presidents made this call because I'm a believer that football coaches might be the most powerful people on college campuses, at least at some of the big schools. Mm-hmm. And the presidents kind of said, hey, Brent, you're wrong. We hold the power. Mm-hmm. We don't care about football in this sense when it comes to this kind of stuff. About a month later, after a lot of hemming and hawing and guys like Ryan Day being out in the public and complaining about it and then backing off, and Nebraska complaining about backing off, it shows me again that at the end of the day, there were a lot of conversations in the last month, is my guess, that if these guys play down south and we don't, we're going to pay for this for years to come.
Correct.
And I think the football guys won over the presidents.
Because it's the power of money, Brent. At the end of the day, money makes the world go round. And you thought you had a good thing going there until you realized how much money those head coaches can bring in to universities. So with that being said, yes, college football head coaches have a lot of power because they generate a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what won the day. Big Ten is back in college football, and now Ohio State's back to being the number 2 team in the country.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. Glad to have you in the mix. Glad to have you along with us. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. One segment to go. Little wrap up with some Jags talk. As we usually start the show, we'll end the show with that as well here on a Wednesday.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A widely scattered shower or thunderstorm, otherwise partly cloudy, very warm and humid overnight tonight, only dropping to between 75 and 80 degrees. Your Thursday will be partly sunny and breezy with scattered showers and a few thunderstorms developing, highs in the upper 80s. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Save thousands right now with Beard's unbeatable deals.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Nothing is certain except death and taxes. And your appliance is breaking down as soon as they're out of warranty. At Atlantic Coast Appliance, we can't help with the first two, but we've got the third one covered. Our factory-trained and certified technicians have been repairing appliances for more than 35 years, with a 90-day warranty on parts and labor and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. For quality repair at a price that's fair, trust Atlantic Coast Appliance. AtlanticCoastAppliance.com. That's AtlanticCoastAppliance.com.
Nobody gives back like Diamonds Direct. That's right, it's back. Our most popular offer, 5 years, 0 interest financing. September is the time to buy at Diamonds Direct. Get the best price, plus spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. And every purchase made in September will benefit No Kid Hungry's mission to end childhood hunger right here in our community. Buy now, spread your payments over 5 years, and give at Diamonds Direct on approved credit. Visit diamondsdirect.com for details.
Been dreaming of subway tile and butcher block counters? Outdoor kitchens and pavers?
Oh, honey.
The weather's great and it's time to knock out those nagging home projects with a Honeydew HELOC from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Borrow up to 90% loan to value and pay no closing costs. Best of all, we'll give you a free wheelbarrow. That's right, a free wheelbarrow. Apply today at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA. Just please, no more shiplap.
WFOX Fox 30 has been removed from the service of Dish Network after the satellite provider refused to agree to a fair deal for a new retransmission consent agreement with Cox Media Group. If you're affected by this decision to deprive you of important local news and to watch your favorite teams at the start of football season, then make your voice heard. Call Dish today at 1-800-333-3474 and demand they put Fox 30 back on Dish.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need
I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today.
ESPN 690 wants you to shop the 904. And by doing that, you keep most of the money and jobs right here on the First Coast. Plus, local businesses give our community its uniqueness and character that makes living on the First Coast so great.
Shop the 904.
Are you ready for a new ride? Then your wait is over. It's the Today's the Day sales event, and it's going on now at Arlington Toyota. Today's the day for you to drive away from Arlington one really happy customer in your brand new Toyota. That's because you'll get 0% for 60 months on all new 2020 Camrys, Corollas, and RAV4s. 0%. How about getting a new Toyota Plus, no payments for 90 days? Today's the day because that's exactly what you'll get at Arlington. And did I mention 2 years of free maintenance? Yes. Today's the day you get your new Toyota at Arlington plus 2 years of free maintenance. And with every new vehicle purchase from Arlington, you get a lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles. Plus, you can buy with total peace of mind thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange policy. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. Today is most definitely the day to get the Toyota you really want at Arlington Toyota, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com. Today is the day for full details.
Okay, boss, here's the house. Been watching it all week.
And you're sure it only has a big blue alarm system?
Yep. That means we should have all the time we need.
Yeah, still can't believe Big Blue Alarm is allowing their employees to monitor alarm systems while they're working from home.
Yeah, let's see, how many times do I get distracted when I'm at my house?
Right? Well, let's just hope the Big Blue operator monitoring this house just started binge-watching a TV show.
Meanwhile, right across the street, Safe Touch is still as steady as can be with the fastest guaranteed response time anywhere.
And that is why we're standing on the outside of the house with the Big Blue Alarm.
Just following the Crooks of Us motto, stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah. All right, let's get busy.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
It's the best offer ever at Diamonds Direct. 5 years, 0 interest financing. And this weekend, the focus is on Viraggio. Handcrafted in New York, Viraggio is the only bridal designer that allows you to truly personalize your ring from the inside out. We've flown in the entire Viraggio collection for this special event. So come and express your individual style this Friday and Saturday. Discover the Viraggio difference and enjoy 5 years, 0 interest financing on any purchase on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day?
That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
This following message is brought to you by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
This is Craig Fugate, the former director of Florida Emergency Management. In this time of COVID, you need to update your hurricane preparedness plan. That means knowing what evacuation zone you live in, and in order to leave, you need to go. Take your pets and stay with family or friends, or at an inland hotel. Shelters are another option. Know your zone, know your home. For more information, go to floridastorms.org. That's floridastorms.org.
As you get back to business, small things can make a big difference. Like marking safe distances with floor tape and posting reminders to wash hands. As always, Grainger is here to help, offering supplies and solutions for every industry. Free access to product specialists, 24/7 support, safety recovery guides, and more. It's part of our commitment to help you adapt and recover in these challenging times. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, everybody, this is Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. But if you can't catch it, or if you want to go back and listen again, check out the Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 podcast. Just search ESPN 690 in your podcast app.
Brent Martineau.
Never heard of what happened in Iowa yesterday, and I don't even know how to pronounce the name of it. Derecho.
Austin Lane.
Iowa State Cyclones. Should call them the Derechos. You can shorten it up, call them the Chos. Why not, man? I'm into it.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Yeah, Miles is a guy ever since I've gotten here. You know, you realize when he's out on the field, he's different. He moves so well, so fluid for a linebacker, and I think it also helps him having Joe out there. I think those two work really well together, and I'm excited for both of them as they lead kind of the defense. Both of them are really good players. Miles played incredible, and he's really grown as a leader too.
That is Gardner Minshew from today. A lot of people talked today, by the way. Jay Gruden, Doug Marrone, Gardner Minshew, Laviska Shenault. Waiting for him to approve the bingo card. We got shout-outs all over the country today. And so we're discussing this earlier and trying to figure out pronunciation. And we're going to give it a shot. You said I had to figure it out after.
Figure it out, Brent. Yep.
Might have cheated a little bit.
You cheated, but it's okay. That's
okay. It doesn't mean I'm right.
Doesn't mean you're right.
Doesn't mean I cheated right. This is an open book test.
Hey, I mean, if you cheated, you got it wrong, that's probably even worse on you. Just saying.
So I think it's Sochil.
Sochil, is that what we're going with?
That's what I'm going with.
Dare Ugumbawale. You're going Sochil. You're going Sochil.
Sochil. Okay.
Sochil. Final answer.
Final answer.
You're going to lock that in.
And she lives in San Diego.
Yep.
And she's a big fan of the Jags. That's how I found you guys, she says. I keep looking for a TV show or radio station or YouTube channel with Jags content since ESPN and Fox barely talk about the Jags. So, Sochil?
Their losses
I hope I said
game.
your name correctly.
Yep.
We did some research.
Feel free
we appreciate you jumping in and
feel
listening.
free to confirm if you want to confirm it on our chat, or if Brent said it right or not. If he didn't, I apologize.
It's difficult sometimes with Twitter handles, though. You never know
pressure,
what people are going.
Oh, I know.
What is it? Names? Is it something that means something to
and
them?
half of them you can't even read because they're inappropriate.
Yeah, very true. I usually don't read them
because the button will be pushed.
And by the way, Brandon Bush says he's listening from Saratoga, New York.
Man, we're everywhere, Brent.
Saratoga.
Nope.
That's a little.
You don't got me on this one.
Little jingle for the horse racing up there. Love Saratoga.
What do you mean? That's how it goes. What?
Saratoga is one of the best places on earth. You should go sometime.
But there's a horse jingle? Or is it like a commercial?
Well, that's where horse racing is. And so leading up to the meet, it's called a meat, right? And
it's called a race meet.
Well,
whatever.
it is, but it's called
horse meet.
Horse racing meet is what they call.
I got
you. And there's a bunch of races.
Okay.
But they stay up there for like 6 weeks. I think they actually do like 8 weeks now up there. And highlighted by the Travers Stakes.
Sure.
Which is one of the big
like
races.
A real thing, yeah. I'll take a word for it.
'Tis the Law 1, home cooking this year. But so the commercials, right? The New York, why am I missing it now? New York Horse Racing Association.
Okay.
It's not what it is, but NYRA.
I was going to say.
No, New York Racing Association.
You said it with a lot of conviction.
No, it's NYRA, New York Racing Association.
Okay. Yeah, you're just like, I don't know, the New York Racing, whatever. Let's just keep the story going.
Since I was there.
I got you.
So anyway, they have a commercial, and they used to have a commercial that played. It'd be Saratoga. And Steph sings it like all the time, and she loves it.
I want to hear it now. Almost as good as the Jacksonville Suns old one. Yeah. That was my favorite.
Yeah, I got to find the
Saratoga. Yeah, we got to find that.
That was not good singing on my part, but you'll get the little jingle.
Man, you're good.
A lot of fun here on a Wednesday. We're just going to do roll call like every day for 15 minutes.
Let's get it.
Like, where's everybody listening from?
Where you guys from? Yeah, let's go.
We appreciate you listening, though, for sure. Jaguars on a Wednesday. We talk a lot about the Titans and the Jags coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel any better about their chance to beat them? Again, this is more Thursday, Friday. We'll do picks and all that stuff. We'll get more of the conversation, but I don't. I guess I don't.
Mr. Sunshine and Rainbows?
Yeah, it's really weird, right? I did think they could beat the Colts.
Yeah.
Matchups play into it. You know, Minshew and company were really interesting on that topic today. They haven't won in Nashville since 2013. I thought Minshew had a great explanation about it being a little bit superficial. It's just kind of one of those trends. It doesn't put any stock as a player.
A lot of guys on that team have no idea.
I know, but what is it, right? And so especially when you go in a bad way, and before you don't just dismiss those kind of things, the Colts hadn't won since 2014, and they didn't win up here again, and they were heavily favored.
That's a good point.
So there are trends in sports for some reason, and the Jags and Titans, yes, they've beaten them, but they haven't beaten them up there, and they've gotten their butts whooped up there quite a bit. So that scares you. You know, when you've been around here long enough, that scares you. Those kind of trends do scare you. There's a reason for it. I just don't know. I feel like this team will be inconsistent at times, okay? And that's the makeup of a young team. They had a great performance early on, surprised everybody, so good. And they will have more good performances. Just don't know against a seasoned team, a team that really didn't play well and got away with a win, and now is going to play on their home turf. You know, there's a lot of factors here now. The Jags going to go on the road. I haven't done this. There's this whole COVID stuff still working. The roads are even a different animal. So I just don't feel that great about this one. Now it's Wednesday. By Sunday, I'll probably have them winning 42-10.
Walking on sunshine, baby.
But
well,
I just don't feel
too,
great
the Titans
about this.
they're on a short week notice here, right?
They are, but it's early in the season. You tell me short week in November, I might put a little more stock into it.
Listen, I think, once again, and I've been very adamant about this, I understand this is a different type of year and a different type of feeling, but I just can't go based off 1 week, right? Like, for instance, the Browns got absolutely mollywopped against the Baltimore Ravens, right? Well, my prediction for this game tomorrow with the Browns versus the Bengals is I think the Browns are going to dominate.
I do too.
I think the Browns defense is going to come out ticked off and be like, no, we're not going to let Joe Burrow come into our place and beat us.
I think so
I think
too.
the Browns are going to dominate. One would think, though, listen, the Bengals almost beat the Chargers. You know, Chargers should be pretty good this year. Joe Burrow almost let them to a victory. So people got to like the Bengals. I just think that you can't get too wrapped up in 1 week. And with that being said, do I feel better after I saw the Colts game? Do I feel better after Tennessee struggled a little bit? I'm in the same boat as you right now, Brent. You know, and I'm more of the realist, I guess, of the group. I just think that you can't base it all off one game. I still know what Tennessee's going to try to do. And with Jacksonville, it comes the question, can this young team live up to the expectations to try to go, you know, punch for punch with probably one of the most physical teams in all of football?
Yeah, I think all those things catch up to you. It'd be a pleasant surprise to see the Jaguars win. But I think it's fair, by the way. This isn't like, oh, and I really doubt your Jags. That was a fluke thing. I don't really think that was fluky. I don't. I think it does change week to week. But I also think there's an element of this. All right, now, listen, you're not that good on paper. You have deficiencies. You got beat up in the secondary a little bit. This team has owned you. You got to prove it to us, too. This isn't like, hey, we don't believe in you, Jack. This is like, you got to prove it to us. We've been around the block now for a bit.
Yeah.
And it might be, it's one of the, again, we just talked about it a little bit with the Clippers. It's the task that the 2017 Jaguars had, really 16, 17, as they built that team, is to change the vibe. Not just change the culture, change the vibe. And if you want to say culture, then it's more not what's in the building, winning culture versus losing culture. How do you do that? It's a tough climb, man. That is a tough climb. That's what was so special. But then they couldn't continue it. So they didn't really change it. They actually were just part of it. It was one blip. It was fluky. It was everything every hater said. It was just this one-off thing. Well, now this group is kind of tasked with a similar thing. Now, with less expectation to maybe go and advance deep, but they could change a lot. This could be one of those things like college programs talk about, where, like I always say about Clemson, I think Clemson changed when they beat Ohio State in the Orange Bowl years ago. Now, they didn't win the national title that year. They didn't, I don't even remember what they were. I had to be pretty good at the Orange Bowl, but, you know, they won that game.
Yeah.
And to me, that's when Clemson's culture changed. The vibe at Clemson changed. And then they had to go do one more thing, and that was win the national title. And now you see where Clemson's at. But I think, and Clemson fans, by the way, know their program way better than me, they might go back and say something else. But from the outside looking in, when they beat Ohio State in the Orange Bowl, in a big bowl game, I was like, okay, now that might be an arrival moment for Dabo Swinney, whatever he's built up.
Yeah.
I don't know what this franchise looks like in another year, 2, 3, but if it starts to trend up, I would think you have the potential to give credit to this group of players for kind of changing that, building that foundation that it might become. College and NFL is different in that sense,
it is.
But around here it feels like you need a little bit of that college kind of mentality to change what has been a horrendous decade and a half.
Listen, you nothing wrong with the college mentality. I agree with you there. But with the college mentality comes with the college coach, right? And it all falls on the coach to turn everything around. And listen, we still don't know this right now. I mean, listen, you're off to a good start beating the Indianapolis Colts. But can Doug Marrone, can Dave Caldwell, can they maintain their jobs? Can they see this vision through if this team only wins maybe 5 or 6 games this season? Now, maybe, who knows, Brent? Maybe the Jaguars surprise us. They win 8, 9 games, and we're dancing in the streets. We're playing all the jams, and you're leading the parade, man. This is your moment to shine, and it's all you. Maybe the Jaguars do that. Or maybe they don't, and maybe it's a 5-win season, maybe a 4-win season, and we're sitting here talking about what do you do with the front office? What do you do with the head coach? Because, like I just said, I mean, great players, and that's fantastic. But if you want to match that Dabo Sweeney and that Clemson kind of program, to kind of feel a little bit, you have to have the coach, you have to have the management in place.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm telling you this. It doesn't necessarily equate to wins when you start to change it all the time. I give you, again, I look at examples like, and it doesn't mean that guy, that those front offices to stay and follow through. They might have helped turn it, even though they didn't see the rewards of it. Like we say that about the Gators right now. Like the guy that changed things for Florida was Will Muschamp. He changed kind of the way things were being done in Gainesville. In hindsight, now people are more willing to give him credit for that. Now, they didn't win through another coach. It took 3 years or whatever of McElwain, and then you end up going to Mullen. But some of the foundation of that, I think if you're at the school, we'll say it started with Will Muschamp. Well, I think the Chicago Cubs are a lot like that. They had like Renteria as their manager, and then they went and got Joe Madden. But the young players had kind of helped change what the Cubs, they started it. They started some of that change, and then Madden took it to like this next level.
You could say the same thing about the Eagles and Andy Reid. Andy Reid was very successful in Philadelphia, but never won the big one. Doug Peterson comes in, and they win the big one. Now, I mean, it's under kind of the same coaching tree and stuff like that, but obviously Doug Peterson had his own thing. He had his own characteristics that he brought to Philly, and he won a Super Bowl.
Hey, update, by the way, on the coronavirus testing. I'm really interested to see in the NFL through September 12th. That was the day before the game. They'd only had 2 new confirmed positive tests among players and 5 new confirmed positive among other personnel. The interesting one is going to be the next week that comes out. Gotcha. Because that's when people started traveling and playing. Now, this did include that Thursday night game maybe, but after that, we want to see the numbers.
Check this out, man. Shout out to Samurai Noodle. I'm listening to you guys every morning from Japan. I'm a UWSP grad. Love Central Wisconsin stories from Austin. We got somebody in Japan listening to us.
Baby.
What's up, Stevens Point, by the way?
Hey, don't forget to go vote for our High School Athlete of the Week, brought to you by Honda The Avenues, ESPN690.com. If you're a Creekside fan, if you're an Ed White fan, if you're an Pitt fan, you might want to go there, ESPN690.com. Athlete of the Week brought to you by Honda. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow, ESPN 690.
High school football is back. Listen Friday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. for the Blitz High School Scoreboard Show. Presented by Honda of the Avenues. Action Sports Jax Brent Martineau takes you